Alright, here's a little video of my project here using the Ethernet Shield ENC28J60. You can find those on eBay. Arduino Pro Mini, so 5 volt, and a Digispark relay shield. The little two capacitors there with what looks like a transistor on there is actually an LM1117. I believe a 3.3 volt regulator. So this Instructable will walk you through how to hook this up and use it as a way to turn on your NAS or your computer over the Ethernet by simply sending a packet, a simple packet to it with a couple variables. So what we're using here is one of these guys. Hopefully we can see this. I apologize for my camera. This ENC28J60, did I say that right? I believe so. It has 8 pins. We only use 4 pins for SPI, so we're going to use SO, SI, serial clock, and cable select. And then the 3.3 volt and ground pin, so 6 pins I guess. For Arduino Uno or the Pro Mini, what we're going to use for that is pins 10, 11, 12, and 13. Some tutorials will have you use pin 8 instead of pin 10, and that's actually, you can change that cable select pin in the code for most of the libraries. I use 10, 11, 12, and 13 for that. For the relay shield, I used a shield because it has a transistor in there to protect the circuit, and I had it laying around. It was fairly inexpensive. You can also get these. This is a Sane Smart 2 relay shield. These are really nice. I can't find a single relay shield for this price. This was like $4 at Micro Center, so it's hard to beat that price if you're you want just the whole package without having to do it yourself. Okay. I think that's it for now for this video. Oh, let me show you what this does. So this here is, I'm using this as power, plugs into a USB charger. I'd like to do power over Ethernet, but for the cost of this and all the little chargers I have laying around, it's less expensive than power over Ethernet. So that's 5 volts. It comes into my little regulator board here. So it's an LM117, I think it's 1117, 210 microfarad capacitors there. And from there the 3.3 volts go to here, because that's how you power this, is 3.3 volt. You don't need logic level shifting for this. Over here, a couple Molex connectors. I thought originally I was going to plug this inside the computer and have it all inside. Later I decided to do it outside, so instead of using a female Molex, I used male Molex. For the most part, on your Molex connector, you have a red and black, that's usually your 5 volt line, and then a yellow and black, that's usually your 12 volt line. So I removed the 12 volt lines using the 5 volt line. Just to be careful, I used a voltage divider, which is all heat shrunk in there. Just to make sure it never goes over 5 volts to protect my Arduino. Little LED on there just to show, so I can visually verify that it's actually on. The Arduino Uno analog pin, or I'm sorry, Arduino, same thing as an Uno, a Pro Mini. I use analog pin 1 to check the voltage from the Molex here before I turn on the computer with the relay. You could use a transistor, but then you got to tie the grounds together, and I really didn't want to do that, seeing how I'm using multiple power supplies, and also it's just seemed a little easier to use. You can use a transistor if you want, probably won't hurt anything. But I checked the voltage on the computer to make sure it's not running before I click the relay. The relay clicks for 300 milliseconds, pretending to be a power on button push. So I intercept the power button pins from the motherboard using this little homemade 2-pin connector. It's just a header board or piece of header that I cut and soldered on, so I can plug that into the motherboard. I actually have a splitter inside that splits it into a 2-pin for this, and the 2-pin plugs into the regular power switch. Alright, that's it for now. Hope you liked the tutorial.